So, you thought I disappeared. You thought silly season got the best of me. That was just one battle. Silly season 1, lefty 0. I just went deep undercover. I've been in sniper mode, just looking, camping, waiting for information to come. Silly season's been getting me so crazy, I even got sick. When I was sick, I was still looking for things. It's got me going so deep. Look, I had to break out the whiteboard. So let's talk about silly season right after this.
Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills.
One. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Keenan, aka Lefty, and welcome to the NNRC podcast, news, vlog, something like that. I don't know. I got chastised for calling it a vlog by, of all people, JQ Tarantino over there. By the way, go check out JQ's latest videos. They're pretty good. I'm going to plug him early because he's doing a lot of hard work and he's helping me with my videos. But anyway, guys, what's up? Welcome to the silly season part 2 news vlog. Before I go on any further, disclaimer. Look, we're just having fun with silly season. I'm excited. I've been sick. I haven't been giving guys like full updates, but just because I've been a little bit sick doesn't mean I haven't been paying attention. So I've been kind of, you know, camping, I would say, in sniper mode, getting little tidbits of information here. So if I know something is confirmed, I will confirm it. But we're really going to take a look at some of the possible scenarios that can work out here in silly season with moves that I'm hearing are happening. And we're going to just take a look at all that stuff because this is the fun part of silly season, guessing where these guys go and how it affects RC. So this is my disclaimer. This is not the be all truth. We're just going to examine how things can be. All right, everybody got that? Before I go any further, I want to shout out to all of the NNRC squad around the world. You guys make everything possible by listening to the podcast. I'm sorry, there's no podcast this week. I'm getting lots on the podcast, but he got busy. I hope everything works out for him. He's got a big family and his wife has been sick, so he had to tend to her. I hope she gets better. So Lutz was supposed to be the guest this week. I wanted to pick his brain about WRC, but we just can't get a time together to record. Joseph is busy. So I said, let me do a video talking about silly season because I've been gathering a lot of information about this. So it's time to talk about it. We will be back next week with the podcast with Joseph, Lutz, hopefully. That will be our last real recorded podcast. And then we will have our Christmas show. Please join us. That's going to be live. It's going to have call-ins. We're going to do giveaways. It's going to be fun. Shout out to all of the patrons that support the podcast. Thank you guys. Without you guys, none of this is possible. New cameras, new mics, that comes from the patron fund. So thank you. If you like what we're doing here at the NNRC, you can be a patron and support us a little bit more. You can find a written link in this description of this vlog video. Also, if you like what we're doing, thank you to everybody that showed us the love and gave us a sub, a share, and a comment. And a notification on our last YouTube video. If you like what we're doing, please hit that sub button, write us a comment, and hit that notification button and that like button. One thumbs up. And I just want to say special thanks to a few people before I go on. I want to shout out to Beach RC. I really like Brent. He's cool. I like Lucas, what they're doing. This is really a brick and mortar hobby shop that has everything firing on all cylinders. They do everything that's needed to make things successful in RC. And I like them. I just recently got myself an Element trail runner. I have a little beach RC discount. I enjoyed it. I used it. They got that out to me really fast, and they got me some candy as well as some cool koozies. So shout out to Beach RC. Check them out, guys. We do have an affiliate link. If you can use it, it really helps us, shows our sponsors some love. And I want to shout out to Scooter Scott. He sent me some really nice scale California license plates for my trail runner. As you guys know, I'm going on my first trail event this week. So I'm super excited about this. I've even been wrenching on cars, getting my hands dirty, greasy, you name it. I've been doing it. I'm super happy about this. And shout out to all the sponsors that support the podcast. I'll list them down below in this written description. I usually shout them out on the podcast, but this is a vlog. So we will be back next week, the podcast. We do apologize for not having one. Okay, so let's start out with what we do know. Wow, Ryan Lutz shocked the RC world. I'm not going to dwell on this too much. I already talked about this in my blog. You can go to our website. There'll be a link in this description. You can read that. Let me know what you think. It's actually a novel, but I will touch on this. I really like Ryan Lutz. He's the nicest guy in RC. He's a great ambassador for RC. This move, it's ballsy. We all know this. WRC, and now we see he's going back to Alpha Engines. I really hope this works out for Ryan Lutz. It's going to be hard. We all know that. I will pick his brain more about WRC because I'm interested in this because it seems really cool. Like I said, check out my blog. You'll know more about it. And I appreciate that. Yeah, go to our website, check it out. And yeah, hopefully we'll have him on the podcast next week. So not going to dwell on WRC Alpha move for Lutz. But just in, I did also hear that he's also signing like something that I've never really seen in RC, but like an outs like a series is signing him. Like I think like Rob Isaacs and his USRC, from what I hear, they're also like involved with Lutz and WRC. Well, I don't know about WRC, but definitely with Lutz and promoting their USRC series. They're in Region 2. They have really good ideas. I've had Rob Isaac on the podcast. You can go check him out. Check out USRC as well. They're doing good things. Like in that region, I really like what they're doing. Like going to races, using existing tracks. It's awesome. And Ryan Lutz is going to be a big part of that. So good luck to Lutz, Rob Isaac, USRC. Check them out on Facebook, or I can't remember which podcast he is in, but it was earlier this year. Check him out and see what he has to say. All right. So let's look at another move that we know happened this week. On the first vlog, I kind of let the cat out of the bag. That Pillars was out. Maybe he was a little upset. I don't know. I apologize, but I mean, it was common knowledge. I had seen the email, so I hope he isn't too upset. He did message me. He was cordial about it. I told him, I hope you land on. Really hope you have something lined up. And he says, wait till you see. I'll be announcing on Tuesday. So maybe if I ever see Joe Pillars, I've never talked to him. We can have a conversation and talk about how his career. Maybe we get him on the podcast and talk about what's going on with uh, one up in AE. Actually, that's a great idea. I need to get him on the podcast because if this is what I think it is, I think this is pretty awesome for RC. Now, it's not a first. I think this is something similar to what AE Factory Tracks has in the Midwest with the Horn family, Alan Horn, I don't know other names, and a group of people that run AE cars and they call themselves Factory Tracks. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't know too much about this. So, yeah. But here we have Pillars leaving Yokomo and the mass exodus of drivers that left with him. That's important. We got to look at that because we talked about that on the last podcast as well. So, Pillars out at Yokomo. Now he's at One Up AE. So, if I get this right, this is kind of cool. This is like a satellite team of a motocross race. So, you have your full factory AE team, which is Rivkin, Evans, Ungaro, these guys. And then you have like a satellite team. They go through One Up, which is making cool little products for 10 scale cars and 8 scale cars, I guess. I haven't really looked at their product line too much, but it's an established company in RC. Randy Casser, Joe Pillars have teamed up. I know like Matthew Gonzalez, what's up? Hashtag Born a Crime had me looking at Muppets in Space movies at 3 o'clock in the morning while I was in the toilet being sick, food poisoning this weekend, looking for clues about where people are going. Thank you. He's joined them fresh off a dominating performance at this recent Florida Copper race. That was probably one of the biggest moves, and that was like, okay, what I'm hearing about Yokomo might be true. They're cutting their team or dismantling their team. I don't know, but Pillars lands at AE One Up, and so maybe this AE One Up is like exactly what I think it is: a satellite team to develop young drivers to be good, like to make way to go, like a way to actually become a pro. If this is what I think it is, then that's awesome. We need to see this in 8 scale too. Satellite teams, like a hobby shop satellite team off a brand. That would be so awesome. It happens in other countries as well. But this would be so like think about it. He can take guys like Matthew Gonzalez and all these fast 10 scale guys. I assume there will be 8 scale too. Not so sure. I know Pillars is more of a 10 scale guy, but let's assume It's just 10 scale. He gets all these fast stock drivers and grooms them, and they get ready, and then they kind of just wait in line for when AE has a spot open. You know, I think it's awesome. Let's see how it works out. I don't know if this is the point of this, but I like to think so because I like this type of thing. I'm always talking about there needs to be a path to becoming a pro. So maybe the 10 skill guys have it right. They actually have stock, which I've criticized quite heavily because it's not really stock. But at least it's a separate, like an amateur class to an extent that people can, bump up from and go to mod. But that doesn't really happen much either. So also, this was significant because I was really sure that maybe Pillars was actually going to AE to take over maybe Brent Thelke's job. He's been there for a long time. Maybe it's time for a change. That would have probably been a great fit for Pillars. Or even to TLR. I know Thomas Tran is the TLR manager and he's doing a great job. Trust me, he's doing a great job because TLR is looking really powerful. But I also heard that Tran is the Proline team manager. And if you really look at it, they just released their team reps for Proline, and every single one of them are TLR drivers except Evan Vale, who's AE. And I think most of them are reps. So it looks like the whole Horizon TLR thing is something that's happening. You're going to be running Proline tires in the future. So I thought maybe with Tran going to Proline team manager, just frees up Pillars to really cater to Dakota and the race team for TLR. But it looks like Tran will do both jobs. Good luck. He's doing a great job with TLR. But one day, I think when we figure out who's going where in 2021, I'm going to do a video and power rank all these teams going into 2021. And for me, TLR is very high up in the list in America anyway. So he didn't go to any of these companies, which shocked me because I thought for sure he's going to one of these bigger companies. I've never really seen Joe work for a smaller company. He's always had a bigger company with a fast guy to support him. So it's different seeing this. We shall see how things work out. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of work. So good luck to Joe Pillars, and I hope he comes on the podcast to talk more about it. And he's got a following. Like all these guys are going to follow him. I know it's kind of not very good for current Yokomo drivers. I don't know what the future holds for Yokomo. Honestly, I don't. But this plays into something that we have to talk about later on in this vlog, and that's about Ryan Mayfield. Is it possible that Yokomo is done with the racing side? I mean, they do cater to the drift side, but I mean, all the signs are pointing to that it's over for Yokomo. But time will tell what's going to happen. I just, I just don't know. Like we know RC is in a bad spot. The current business model is just unsustainable, and things are starting to collapse. Like it or not, things are starting to happen. Maybe Yokomo is one of the first people to just get out of racing all again in this decade. It's not funny. It's not strange to think of this. I mean, we can look back at Tamiya. They got out of racing. They're doing fine. Look at Durango, Hobbico, out completely, not doing nothing. Even Traxxas got into racing, started in racing, went to what they do now, biggest company in RC. No idea what's going to happen with Yokomo, but this should be a telltale sign to what companies are doing now, and we have to actually we have to take a different approach. But that's a spew for a whole other vlog because I have this new campaign. It's called Make Sponsorship Great Again or Make Sponsorship Prestigious Again. I haven't figured out which one I want to call it, but we definitely need to bring some prestige and some greatness back to the sponsorship game. But enough about that. Pillars, no TLR via AE to one up. I don't know what this is going to do. We'll get him on her and we'll talk about it. So I thought Pillar's move was going to be very key to where probably Cavallari or Ryan Mayfield go if they're going somewhere. So let's talk about this because there's some major moves going on. There is some testing going on, but I'm just getting little dribs and drabs of information. People are really playing with me, but I get it. People tell me this stuff because I think they're excited. Now, these sources that I'm hearing this from, they're pretty reliable. They're not outright telling me, they're giving me riddles, and I have to figure this out. So this is fun. This is detective work. Let's talk about S Works. All signs are pointing to S Works actually being the big winner of silly season. Time will tell. But anyway, let's look at things. From what it looks at first last week, at it looked like Cav was out at S Works, but I don't know. I'm not so sure now. He was at OCRC. He had his uh e-buggy running there this Wednesday. So I was like, what's going on here? I mean, I've heard that he's going to TLR Proline, but I don't know. I'm also thinking if any company has the money to hire Cav, to keep Cav, it's definitely S Works. But this is important. Think about this when I talk about what's going to happen next. I don't know what's going on with Cavallari at the moment. I'm getting mixed feelings, mixed signals as well. Is he staying with S-Works? Is he going to TLR? I haven't figured it out. But I even my sources, they're playing with me. They're not letting me know what's going on to an extent. Still more riddles for me to find out. But it's a strong rumor and possibility that Cav ends up at TLR running the Proline package. Could this mean that Fenn has to run the Proline package as well? Who knows? I don't know. But that's a topic for later on in this vlog. I keep wanting to say podcast, but it's a vlog. You might hear some people talking out there. There's no water in the office in the whole office building, so people are a little bit pissed off. They want water. I know. I could imagine. S-Works, big player, big money, big company in Europe. It's pretty much taken up. It's got Elliott Boots, it's got Jorn Newman, Canas, fast guys all over, but still has not really taken off in America yet. But 2021 might be the actual year. Tim Lime's doing a great job. Like Cav actually had success with the car. Maybe their 10 scale program is a little off. Their four-wheel drive is good. Their two-wheel drive doesn't seem to be so good. Cav barely used it that in his tenure with in his time with S-Works. He's still with S-Works at this time. So who knows? I know they really want to be competitive in all classes. So they're going to spend money and make their two-wheel drive good. So this is what I'm hearing. Let's just put Cav to the side for a minute and let's look at the other Ryan, Mayfield. I'm hearing that this is quite possibly could be a thing. Mayfield to S-Works. This would be astonishing. Like who would have thunk? Huh, I'm making up my own words here again. Who would have thought that Mayfield would go to S-Works? I had him going back to AE. I mean, to partner up with Rivkin, because I think they need somebody in America to kind of boost their eights. Like Rivkin's doing a great job, but I think like Ryan Mayfield back at AE would have been great. Like he could have ended his career there and been cool. Kind of like Cav going to TLR. He could have ended his career there, had support, helped to go to win some races, maybe, and also got some glory for him. And maybe he got a job for the rest of his life in RC or go in a blaze of glory with his former employer. So I was sure that Mayfield was going to AE, but with Pillar's move, this is this is not looking so likely. I keep hearing S-Works from multiple sources, the same sources who are telling me about Cav. So I don't know. It's looking like I'm even hearing they were possibly testing this past weekend in Arizona. So of course, he's out there trying different cars. He has to be. Sees what's going on with Yokomo. He has 1 year left on his contract. His good friend, Joe Pillars, is gone. They have other drivers that they have, like Lee Martin, Shinadachi. They still have on contract to next year sometime. But Mayfield's contract is probably up at the end of next year. Maybe he's shopping around now because, hey, he thinks I'm going to be out at Yokomo. That's a big part of my salary. It really is. He had 10 scale is a big part of his program. So he's looking, instead of waiting to next year, he does it this year. S-Works has the money to pay him. Look, let's face it. Mayfield helped with the engineers with their two-wheel drive car. It's in Yokomo. It's pretty good. He can probably do the same for S-Works, help them with their two-wheel drive car, get it competitive, whatnot. Also, remember, Mayfield likes to win, so he has to really like the car. He's really liking the pillow ball at Mugen, so the S-Work is another pillow ball car. Maybe he likes this too. Maybe he's trying many different cars. I don't know. I'm not there. I wish I was. I wish I had a long range drone with a telescopic lens. I would know who's testing who in Arizona, at what track, and who was there and what car they would. But unfortunately, I don't. I have to rely on riddles and people teasing me. But this is the fun part of silly season. So what does this mean? Mayfield to S-Works. Well, this means Mugen is out of a top USA driver. But we'll talk about that later. S-Works to Mayfield. Does this mean that Mugen people follow Mayfield to S-Works? I don't think so. Yes, some people would definitely follow Mayfield to S-Works. What it does give is the guys in America that run S-Works somebody to cheer for. And it also brings a lot of positive eyes and wins to people that maybe were thinking about S-Works. Hey, we got Mayfield on the team. Let's go check it out. Let's go hang out. That car's got to be fast. He's going to help us go fast. So it looks attractive. In the long run, maybe after a year, yes, I think if S-Works had Mayfield, it would help them out a lot. But let's take a look at another scenario that might. So we'll talk about Mugen in a minute, but let's take another scenario. What if Cav doesn't leave S-Works and both Ryan and Cavallari are running S-Works next year? What if this happens? What if this happens? The two Ryans back on a team again? Do you imagine? Can you imagine how dominant they would be? Like, really, Mayfield really knows how to set up a car, I believe. He's done a lot of things on his own. Yes, having Drake, Jason Rona's a big help for him. Cav at S-Works kind of lacked that support system that he had at Associated, the support system that he would have at TLR. But with Mayfield in his corner, those guys could get together, work on setup, figure out things, push each other at races. They have ideas to bounce. They can bounce ideas off each other at races. Also, back to S-Works Europe. That makes S-Works super powerful in the US race scene if they get both Ryans. That's if. I don't know if this is feasible. Does S-Works have the money to pay for both Ryans? I think so. It would be cool to see both Ryans running again. But I don't know if this is going to happen. This is really going to be if this happens, S-Works has to spend on a lot of money. Those guys are pretty much equal in I would say they're equal in skill. Maybe Ryan Mayfield brings more value because I really like Cav. He's awesome. I think he's the GOAT. Once you get to know him, he's cool. But it's no secret. Cav, sometimes he can get angry, and people don't like that. And he wears his heart on his sleeve. So I get it. You know, he doesn't impress people some ways like that. But I like Cav. I think he's one of the best people to ever touch a radio control in his life. And Mayfield as well. So this is interesting to see if S-Works gets both these guys. They will be dominant. And they have two of the fastest guys in Europe. Like, we're talking cool shit here. But check it. If Mayfield goes to S-Works, we get to see him run RCGP next year if we get to race it due to COVID. So that's even more cool. Who doesn't want to see Mayfield and RCGP? I know this guy does. I can't, I can't wait to see that happen. So I'm kind of hoping this move happens. I, if I was Tim Lime, I'd be giddy right now. The like like if I had the possibility to land both Ryans, I'd be so giddy. I don't know. I think I'll never ever experience anything like that. But this is all hypothetical. There's no confirmation if one Cav is leaving, Cav is staying, or if Mayfield is leaving Mugen or going to stick out and do his contract for Yokomo. None of this. As of now, I'm not sure. I have not confirmed that Cav is leaving, and I have not confirmed that Mayfield is leaving. So this is all possible scenarios that can happen. Okay, we're talking about big names right there. Mayfield, Cav, Lutz. Those are the really big names. Let's talk about some names that aren't really as big, but I think these are important moves. And they're up and coming youngsters, and they're going to be taking it to these guys in a couple years, if not next year. Let's talk about the first one, Tyler Jones. I really like Tyler. He is the dark horse. This guy has beat these guys. He did it at PNB 2019. I like his attitude. He's not a fanboy. He's trying to be a champion. So, rumor is Tyler Jones is out at Nemo. This really sucks if it's true. With Lutz leaving Nemo and if Jones leaves Nemo, it just really is not good for Nemo. I mean, they'll be all right, but it's like a double whammy. I don't want to see this happen. I was so happy when Billy got Lutz and Tyler Jones. I was like, man, you got a really good squad. Throw in Brandon Rose. This is awesome. Why wouldn't you want these type of guys at your track, running your car? Unfortunately, it looks like something's going on. I can't confirm this. I mean, it's on Live RC. They said Tyler Jones might be on the move. I'm hearing that he is too, from my sources. First, I heard it was S Works. Now I'm not hearing it's S Works. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's just examine something here. I don't really understand why Tyler would leave Nemo. They just got rid of Lutz. No, sorry, they didn't get rid of Lutz. Sorry, Lutz and Nemo parted ways. So that frees up some money because I believe that Nemo was gonna hire Lutz for give Lutz another 2-year contract. So I say they have some money to freed up to spend on Jones and probably Brandon Rose to fly them around. Maybe not Rose so much because he's still younger. But what I hear is Tyler's taking a year off school to actually proceed, like I guess, to be a pro driver, which I think is great. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, and he is. He's gonna take next year to be a pro driver. I think this is awesome. This is exactly what he needs. Get into races, being like get racing these guys more, and like just taking it to him, not being scared of him. I would love to have Tyler Jones on the JQ team. I think he would fit in great. I'd be like, unleash the beast and go. Unleash the Kraken, whatever they say. But let's look at some of these. I just don't get this. At Nemo, he could have easily been the US Nemo's number one driver. I think that would have been great for him. He would have done well. Him, Brandon Rose, Steve Harris, that's a great lineup. They could have then taken Tyler on, gave him a small salary, spent some money on, just travel, get him to some of these races, get him up to maybe a Pacific North race. Here, whatever you can get him to in the next year. We don't know what's going to happen in 21. But apparently, it looks like he's on the move. And I just don't get this. S Works, okay. If he was gonna go under Cav or Mayfield and be partner under them, I could see that working. But still, kind of the same thing. All the support for S Works is still kind of over in Europe, which makes things a little difficult at races. But S Works has the money to commit to racing more and being more professional in America. I think they'll do this in 21. But let's look at where else he can possibly go. We're gonna throw out a few examples here. Techno. I don't know why this gets thrown out here. I think Techno probably has one of the best lineups in 8 scale racing. They have Tebow, Joe Bornhorst, and Seth freaking Van Dalen. Okay, maybe Joe Bornhorst has had a middle of the pack year, but he still makes mains. Tebow has had an awesome year, awesome 2 years. He's rejuvenated his career. I've said it many times over. Tebow and that whole silly season with Lutz, and when they switched, kind of not switched, but Tebow took his place and Lutz went her. I think Tebow has won that. He's loving RC, loving being on Techno, and Techno has, like, honestly, one of the best teams in America for RC. If Tyler Jones goes to Techno, this is another young potential pro driver that they have. Techno has another young driver. Could you imagine if Seth Van Dalen and Tyler Jones on the same team? These two young, hungry lions or cheetahs, because they're young and they're fast. Like they're like sprinting like a cheetah. Blah, 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 blah. These two guys are fast. They aren't scared of these pros. They're not trying to be fanboys. They're trying to be champions. If Tyler Jones goes to Techno, Techno has another battle. They have Tebow up there who's doing well, born horses who's still doing good. But I honestly think these young guys are coming up and they're gonna just overtake Born Horse. He's a little bit older. But can you imagine Seth freaking Van Dalen and the dark horse Tyler Jones on the same team battling it out? What makes Techno so great is their team. They have so many good drivers at different levels to give so much feedback at races. You have like I said, you have Tebow, Joe, Seth. Throw Tyler in there if this happens. Then you have people like Wiggins, Hooks that are like B mainers at bigger races and maybe make some A mains at some races that aren't as big. All great feedback. They have awesome, even in their open category and sportsmen, like they just have feedback like coming in 24/7 for their cars. Lots of work, lots of support. I think Tyler Jones can flourish in her. If he goes, he has to compete against Seth if Seth stays. So Techno, while it might not be, but while Techno might not need a Tyler Jones, they probably can have him. And I think it would be awesome for their team. And it would be good to see two young guys battling it out for a position and throw in Joe Bornhorst and Tebow. They all got to battle for their positions at that team. four hungry guys, a veteran, um, an experienced driver, and two youth going at each other. Oh, I love this. This is what dream seasons are made of. So if yeah, I support Techno taking Tyler Jones, but I don't know if this is going to happen because remember, if Mayfield leaves S-Work, that leaves a position up at Mugen. This is something else we have to look at. If Mayfield leaves, they just have Drake in America, Robert over in Spain, and I think they have Shin. I'm not sure. But Mugen has never really had a big pro team. It's just a racing company. They're very frugal. So, they don't spend a lot of money. Yes, Drake has done wonders for him. Mugen has a loyal following. I know. I think the MBX 7R is probably one of the best cars I've ever owned. I still have it there on my shelf with the dirt from the last race. Awesome car. I really enjoy it. Who replaces Mayfield at Mugen? That's some big shoes to fill. This guy is one of the most talented drivers to ever touch a radio control. If there was a Hall of is like, well, there is a Hall of Fame RC. This guy has already been in it twice. I don't know how you replace that. Who replaces Mayfield at Mugen if he leaves? I don't know. Is this a spot for somebody like Tyler Jones? Is this a spot for maybe like Seth Van Dalen? Maybe. Let's take a closer look. Seth. Okay, we've talked about Tyler. So he has many potential moves. I think Mugen could be one of them too. I still don't understand why he left Nemo, but that's not for me to figure out. That's on him. If this is true. As of now, I have not confirmed that he has left Nemo. So let's throw somebody else in here. Seth freaking Van Dalen. I'm a big fan of Seth. He's young. He kind of stamped like the end of 2019. He kind of like stamped his foot and said, "Hey, I'm Seth Van Dalen. I make A mains. I'm from Minnesota, but I can race with the big boys." He followed that up in 2020 with a TQ at DNC, which was absolutely awesome. He's made pretty much all his mains at his big race. I think he finished second at PMB. But lately, not so good at AMS. But Seth is on his way to being a pro driver. Seth has been with Techno for quite a long time, maybe 4 or 5 years. I can't remember. Probably, maybe less, maybe a little bit longer. He's been exceptional with him. His dad has been running them. They've been representing Techno up in the Minnesota area, and they've sold a lot of kits up there. They have a following, the Van Dalen family. They have one of the coolest names in RC. Who wouldn't follow somebody with that last name? I know I do. I like him. Seth, I like this kid. I He definitely is going to be one of the guys that take it to these pro guys. I would say him, Tyler Jones. I'll throw Spencer Heckert, and there's some other young guys that I think coming up will do great things. Little Bump, Spencer Kleins, Cody, all these kids, Camden Lime. If they just get over being a fanboy and be a champions, they're going to take it to these pro guys. But I think Seth is there. I definitely think Tyler Jones is at that level right now. So Seth, he got a little travel last year. We got to know Seth a little bit more. I know Seth, he wants to do this for a living. And you know what? I honestly think that maybe he should be getting a salary right now. Is he going to get paid from Techno? I don't know. Is he going to get paid from J Concepts or any of these companies? I'm not sure. He should be getting some compensation for his work. If he's going to do this full time, like if he's going to be a pro driver, he has to do this full time. You have to get compensated for this. So here's a enigma or a conundrum to me. What happens with Seth Van Dalen? Does he stay at Techno and be loyal and hopefully I don't know what's gonna happen in 21. Does he stay there or is Seth fishing? If I was Seth, I'd be fishing. Look, you got TLR. That's a great spot for him to end up. You got Mugen, another great spot for him to end up. Hell, Nemo would be a great spot for Seth to end up, in my opinion. I would love to have Seth. I know I said that about Tyler Jones, but I would love to have both of them. Two awesome young guys who are not scared of the pro guys and willing to take it to these guys. I'll take that any day. Give me Seth, give me Tyler for JQ Racing. This is really just, I don't know what's going to happen to Seth. Maybe he just stays with Techno. He really does like them. He's done well with their cars, he's figured them out. So maybe he just keeps his program the same. But I would think that he's looking to get some sort of compensation from his racing. He's 19, 20. He has to work. Like he really has a real job. It's really hard to do this while you do a real job. and be competitive. So maybe Mugen's a great fit for him too. Then he don't have to race 10 scale. He can race 8 scale only. But definitely, Techno, if say for instance Jones goes to Techno, there's more competition for Seth right there to fight. Not only does he have to fight Tebow and Joe, he has to fight Tyler if that happens. So for Seth, he has to make his moves properly. He has to get some salary, some travel. Basically, he should be going to these races and not having to pay for anything. I think that's fair and getting contingency. If he got some salary, that's great too because he should. He's going to be a pro driver. His family influenced people and they saw lots of cars and he's not scared. So where Seth Van Dalen ends up, I don't know. Maybe he, like I said, maybe he stays at Techno, but he's just one of the guys that I see that's kind of floating out there that nobody's talking about. So I just had to mention him because I like him. I like his attitude. So with that said, we got two major moves that possibly could happen in chassis with two veterans and two major moves that can possibly happen with two up and coming stars. Who doesn't like silly season? This is so much fun watching these people move around. I really wish I could be there for the negotiations. I hope one day that we can sign somebody at JQ Racing, but I'm not holding my breath. Not with Josie. Now he's all YouTube and direct and all that stuff. And that's cool too. But one day we'll sign somebody, that's for sure. But I just can't help but think, where do these moves end up? This is why I want to talk about it. Mugen without a top driver if Mayfield leaves, who would think? I still think TLR needs a second driver to complement Dakota Fenn. I think AE needs a driver to complement Rivkin on this side of the on this side in the USA. So lots of things can happen. We'll have to wait and see. I'll be paying attention, waiting to get tidbits here and information and trying to bring as much as I can. But sometimes when there's no information, I really can't give you any. Like I said, these are all hypothetical. I don't know. I'm always trying to use big words that I don't know. These are all possible scenarios that could happen if these moves happen. This is not the absolute truth. None of this is confirmed. This is just silly season, Lefty having fun, and I want you guys to join in on it. I've probably talked too much. I haven't really heard any of the moves that I talked about, like Drake to JC, where Testman's going, what's going on with him. That's another thing. I'm so shocked that X-Ray isn't making any big moves, or are they? I don't know who would fit in well with Testman and Gord at X-Ray. These are things that keep me awake at night. Honestly, it's addictive. This is my huckleberry. This is my kryptonite. Silly season. You may have won one battle, but I will win the war. Let you, if you guys hear anything, hit me up. If you have any thoughts, let me know. I love talking about this stuff. Just message me, leave some comments down here in the YouTube uh atmosphere. Let's help boost this also. Let's help boost this YouTube channel. I really need to get some more subs and I need to get some more hours here because YouTube's going to be important to what I do here in the future. So I appreciate all you guys' support. Let me know what you guys think about this vlog, news video. I don't know. Beaker's going to be upset because I called it a vlog anyway. Well, you know what? I'm not worried about vlogs. What Beaker has to say. We actually have to do some recording here soon anyway. So let me know what you think about this vlog. You guys have a great weekend of racing. Be safe. If everybody going down to Fall Brawl, I really, I really wish I was going. It looks like the weather's going to be good, and this is I've been to Fall Brawl for the last 3 years, and it really hurts that I can't go this year, just like it did for PNB. So to all my friends, everybody attending Fall Brawl, have fun. I wish I was there. Good luck to the JQ Racing team, Beach Racing team. Just enjoy it. You know, you guys are really fortunate to be able to get racing. I wish I could be there. I'll be in Santo Domingo driving my Element. Thank you, Beach RC. There it is. It's not finished. And just enjoying RC again. And I'm looking forward to that. Also, for all you guys who enjoy our podcast, we'll be back next week. Don't worry. JQ might do a video about this too, his thoughts on potential moves. And then we're gonna like really sit down and analyze these things next week, as well as hopefully talk to Lutz. So thank you for all the support, everybody. Remember, give us a sub, a like, a notification button, a comment, a share on this YouTube channel. If you really like what we're doing, you can support us further on Patreon. And thank you to everybody that just clicks on this stuff, shares it, listens to me ramble on about these simple thoughts, as it's called on the vlog, Lefty Simple Thoughts. I just really enjoy this, and I hope you guys do too. Because silly season's awesome, and it's a big part of our industry. And I'm getting used to these vlogs and being in front of the camera, so expect more of them. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you guys enjoy this vlog. Please show us some love. Show our sponsors some love. And hey, it's Christmas time. Everybody's happy in December. You can't wait for Christmas. Our Christmas show is going to be awesome. I can't wait. We're going to do giveaways. That's in 2 weeks. It's going to be live. We want everybody to tune in and call and just have fun. We're having a Christmas party. We want you to be there. Anyway, guys, as you know, Nitro is the glory. E-Buggy pays the bills if you ain't grinding and sliding. And remember, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. I'll be your looking out for every silly season move. And when I have more information, I'll do another vlog. Lefty out.